Hello everyone. On Saturday in the offline US market, HDFC Bank ADR increased 2.5%. On top of 0.5%, it increased during the Friday night US market. Second, RBI rolled out the major operational change which expects to influence all the banking stocks, small negative. So what is that? NSE announced that they are going to reduce the Nifty's option lot size. So how much and when it will be implemented? And in addition, my thoughts regarding the US government shutdown issue. All we are going to discuss in detail a week ahead video for October 1st week for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First, as we discussed on Friday night during the US market trading time, HDFC Bank ADR increased 0.5%. And on top of that, on Saturday in the offline, HDFC Bank ADR share price increased further 2.5%. So the question is why? All thanks to Q2 FY26 business update. On Saturday, HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, IndusInd Bank, Bajaj Finance and Indian Bank and some more companies released their respective business update. So this week, all those stocks will be on focus. Here, I don't want to go through each one of the stocks business update, rather just like to highlight about HDFC Bank. If required, please pause and have a look. This is their business update snip. Bank's credit grown by 9% and more importantly, deposit grown by 15%, more than the credit growth. Sequentially, both of them grown by around 2%. Even all other metrics like CASA all decent. So, in response to this business update in the offline US market, yesterday HDFC Bank ADR share increased 2.5%. In short, according to me, most of the business update seems positive to me. Let's hope all these to materialize in the Indian market tomorrow. Moving to the second item, yesterday RBI rolled out the new operational rule, which I think a bit of minor negative to all banks. Before yesterday, if there is a check issued to any Indian commercial bank means they usually take 1 or 2 working days to clear that. So that 1 or 2 days interest and money rotations benefiting that particular bank. But now under the new RBI rule which they implemented yesterday, all the Indian commercial bank has to clear the check by 7 PM on the same day itself. Which is not good. Banks not only losing the interest and money rotation advantage, but also this will increase the bank operational workload. So only I said it's a minor negative. Hence, we could expect market to react by balancing between the business update and this RBI rule. Then the third item, during weekend, National Stock Exchange NSE has revised their top 4 indexes futures or options contract lot size. For Nifty, they reduced it from 75 to 65. For Bank Nifty from 35 to 30. For Fin Nifty 65 to 60. And for Nifty Midcap reduced from 140 to 120. And this change will come into effect from October 28th. Here, I don't think this will influence the stock market price action, but it's worth to know. And finally, my thoughts regarding the US government shutdown issue. First, bit of a background. Democrats wants the US government to continue their Medicare insurance subsidiary for the low and mid-income people. But Trump's Republican Party didn't want to and they don't agree to renew it, which all expired from this October 1st onwards. Which is very serious political lock, and because of this, US government funding bill didn't pass through the Senate, which global market completely shrugged off last week. If we see why, market thinks the impact will be negligible. As we discussed multiple times, in 2018, US government shutdown lasted for 35 days. Despite that long time, it costed only $11 billion to US economy, which was very less. So last week, market didn't bother at all. But there is a real problem here. Last time in 2018, Trump wants $2 billion fund to build wall between US and Mexico, which Democrats were not happy with it. However, at that time, US people were supporting the Trump Republican Party's plan to build the wall. So in the end, Democratic Party yielded. But the problem is now in the present bill 2025, Trump wants to cut the general public Medicare insurance subsidiary, which is not going well with American people. Just for info, Forbes released their private poll results and article. Near 80% of the American public wants Trump Republican Party to provide the Medicare insurance subsidiary like what exactly Democratic Party wants. And even 57% of direct Trump mega supporters also wants the government subsidiary to continue. So now Democratic Party's funding plan is backed by US people. Hence only I'm saying it's a political lock. We don't know how long it will last. I mean, because of all these tariff and protectionism day by day, the trust on US dollar is reducing. In fact, at present, the global dollar reserve is historic low, like just 56.3%. Just to give a perspective, before Trump presidency in all 4 years, it was 58.5%, and in Obama presidency, it was 65%. Meaning, in this Trump second term alone, US dollar international reserve dropped 2%. So, the longer the US government shutdown may not influence the US economy much, but it might reduce the US dollar trustworthiness. In short, if the political lock continued means, then it might make the market nervous and potentially will start to affect the global momentum. Let's hope they will come to some sort of agreement. So, this upcoming week, Indian companies' business update and US government shutdown related influence are to drive the Indian market. In addition, if any sentiment improvement between US and India trade deal or any finalization of trade deal between Europe and India might help the market to move forward. Then macro-wise, there won't be any US government official announcements due to the shutdown. Even last Friday, much awaited US jobs data were not released. So if US government reopened means, then we could expect all those pending macro to release this week. Anyway, on Monday at 10 a.m., India's service and composite PMI data for September month is due to release. August month it peaked 62.9 and the job creation was okay. So for the September month, market is expecting it to come 61.6 and again expecting a decent job growth. Then in the afternoon at 2 p.m., Europe's retail sales data are the important things to look out. Moving to Tuesday, there is nothing that I'm aware of is scheduled that could influence our market. However, in the night, US trade data, September month consumer inflation expectation, and Atlanta Fed GDP growth rate projection are scheduled to release. For Wednesday, October 8th, again nothing during our market time, but in the night, crude oil inventories, 10-year note auction, and very important, last FOMC meeting minutes are the important things scheduled to release. Whereas the following day, Thursday 9th, Fed Chairman Powell is scheduled to speak in the European Economic Conference and US 30-year note auction are the things we need to look out. And finally on Friday, bi-weekly Indian Bank's deposit and credit growth rate is due to release. Just repeating the important things, Wednesday FOMC meeting minutes and Thursday Fed Chairman speech at European Economic Conference are the two important major macros expect to influence the Indian market this upcoming October 1st week. Then about IPOs, Monday Tata Capital and Tuesday LG Electronics are opening for the subscription. So that's all in this video. Hope you got some useful information. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video so that it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment decision based on this as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.